For this family, the day often begins without breakfast. Rise and Rebuild is providing solutions, training local workers at their extensive gardens. As children prepare for school, over 100 employees prepare for the children. Going to school is now filled with excitement because they know help is on its way, so they can enjoy life and focus on their future. Rise and Rebuild provides fresh produce, builds nutrition centers, sanitary restrooms, and involves parents, which improves school attendance, academic scores, body weight, and overall health. Feeding 10,000 students daily, with a goal to feed 100,000 each day. Join us in feeding the children.
Rise and Rebuild's evolution started right after the most powerful storm that's ever hit land, and several hundred volunteers returned to help rebuild the homes of those whose houses had been destroyed. It became apparent that there was a serious need for bathrooms, which over here are called comfort rooms or CRs.
And our great friends here, Ray and Deborah, on Rise and Rebuild, the CR, and the LDS family here in Cebu. They've been very, very helpful. Let me say it has really improved the quality of life of Cebuanos, wherever your projects are.
After we had built the first 17 CRs, we realized that we could drill potable water wells, because those two things, sanitary facilities and potable water, reduces infant mortality by nearly 70%. We were drilling a well at a high school. We found that these school students were malnourished and that the teachers on their own were cooking lunch for them out of their own money.
Here in our school, we have about 205 malnourished children. They usually absentee pupil because they don't have food in their house, and also they are poor in academic.
It is hard to focus without eating a food.
We sat down and said, this is a problem we can solve. We will build a kitchen and a dining room, fully equip it, and we'll put together a program that will take care of some portion of malnourished school children. We built our first nutrition center. The blocks that we made were 15 to 20 times stronger than the hollow blocks, which have traditionally been used in construction here. But our blocks go together like Lego and require mortar only where you put the rebar in. Those are the reasons that it reduces the cost so drastically. Besides that, it looks a lot better than hollow block.
So our bricks is made of sand, dirt, and cement. And we mix it, put it in a press, and then dry it and cure it for 28 days.
One of my pupils is a recipient of this feeding program. Before, they have no food at home. They even eat once a day. But when the feeding program is started, she came to school every day, especially during feeding time.
Baga tumaas ang grado nila.
The grades have improved. The weight of my children has improved because they can eat in school. When the children is properly fed, they can answer the questions, they listen to the teacher, they participate in class. They will do everything what the teacher says because they are properly nourished.
Nutrition centers were so successful, we realized that we needed to have a method that would supply the nutrition center with vegetables that could, in fact, provide extra nourishment to the children.
We started clearing the land. It is a 6.5 hectare property, and then we start planting vegetables, okra, sweet potato, cucumber, taro, squash, string beans, patula, moringa, turmeric, lemongrass, corn, papaya, banana, eggplant, tomatoes, and pineapple.
We deliver produce to the schools every other day. The schools have to agree if they want us to build a nutrition center, they have to go to the government and get an allocation of food. And then the PTA has to find parents that are willing to cook the food every day. Our plan is we will have a nutritionist who will make up the menus that include all the vegetables that we grow. One of our goals is to produce enough fresh produce that we can sell some and pay for the salary of the gardeners. The demand for produce is so high and our vegetables are the best that are available, so we have no difficulty in selling all we can supply. It only took us 5.5 months to get to the point that we were self-sustaining in the garden.
Here in this property, we build the training center for the gardener, the greenhouse, the building where we mix the fertilizer, the brick factory. We have teams who work for the brick factory. We have 32 gardeners, teams who work to build CR and nutrition centers. And we have other 12 persons pulling all the boulders so that we can plant vegetables. And then we find out that some of our workers, especially the women, they quit working because they have problems who will take care of their children. And then we end up putting a daycare center right next to the brick factory, and we hired a teacher who can take care of the children and teach basic writings, the colors, the shapes, and the alphabet.
The other reason that we are expanding what we do to the fish, pigs, the chickens, is so that we can go into high schools and offer a food program. The government has funds available for elementary school for food. They do not have funds available for high schools. So our goal is to be able to go into a high school and offer a feeding program that will greatly cut down on the number of malnourished children. With the success we were having here in Leyte with Ben's efforts, we decided that we should do the same thing in Cebu. We hired our manager over there and his wife. We have a brand new rig that drills wells down to as much as 400 feet deep, which means you will always get potable water.
We ran out of water for 3 weeks already. Rise and Rebuild called me up. They will do the project na. We are 120 families who can benefit this project. Yay!
And having had that success, it was important for us to move on to Luzon, the biggest island in the Philippines. And we have now started a garden and a block factory in Tarlac. One of our goals is to not only make the garden self-sustaining, but also make the brick making self-sustaining. We are beginning to sell bricks commercially. One of the reasons that our employment efforts here are so satisfying is that we have nearly every trade employed here.
It helps me to practice my profession as well as a teacher, because I am pregnant, so I can earn a money for the preparation of my labor, for my baby.
We have carpenters and welders who, when they build, they can build from the ground up. They can put the roof on the building. In the event of a typhoon or an earthquake, building will withstand any normal sort of catastrophe that seems to happen here frequently.
Before, my income is not enough. It's just barely enough for the food, so my kids stopped going to school. But with my employment in Rise and Rebuild, everything is okay. Even my one daughter is now in college.
The other thing is that we are training these people so that their skills make them more valuable for everyone, so that a carpenter can go on the open market and make a livable wage.
It's not just about the comfort room, it's not just about the water system, but it's about people.
Since the nutrition center is built, the weight and the academics are improving.
Feeding more children through our feeding program. I believe we can have that here in Cebu, and I welcome very much the concept.
They are now 100% with their attendance.
You're God sent. You've helped us a lot. Thank you very much.
We hope that this will solidify our partnership, not just for this generation, but the next generation.
Our long-term goal for Rise and Rebuild is to feed about 100,000 children every day. Currently, we are feeding more than 10,000 children every day.
I will say to them, thank you so much.